Hey, coming up on Sports Central, we're rocking here in Polk County right now. To find out, stick around for this edition of Sports Central. Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson along with my co-host, Mr. Hank Longo, and obviously you have been spending all your time indoors. Holy cow.
I have been or I haven't?
You have not. You're all tanned up. And
well, you know, you got to be ski season. You got to be out there tearing it up and get outside, working in the lawn, the yard a lot. That's kind of been consuming a lot of time.
Well, I'm sure our guests are going to sleep better with that tonight.
I'm sure they will.
But it's while we're doing that, why don't
I'm
you
ready
tell
for the weekend before the state championships this weekend. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Florida
so I had
State
to get everything done,
Championships.
so that I can.
Well, our
promote
great
us.
friends at the Hampton Inn, sponsoring this show in Winter Haven, right next to the Holiday Inn there, and Outback, and all the other great places, and RP Funding Center. First event since COVID started, and we are looking forward to it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's just nice to, kind of get back in the groove a little bit here as much as they're going to let us. But we're going to have a fun show.
Oh man, we've got some. Hey everybody, we've got some great guests this week, and really excited about Drew Howard from Florida Southern College. Just a wonderful school. I mean, they just have more championships there. I mean, in Polk County at the collegiate level, but Florida Southern is just unbelievable. And of course, the inimitable Ryan Ritchie.
Yeah, in the house.
in the house. Yeah,
Ryan
the Assistant
Ritchie.
Parks and Recreation Director for Haines City. Lots of stuff going on there. And there will be an Ironman this year, so we are excited about that. Can't wait for that to happen. And then just sort of in the middle of those two superstars, we have Kellan Rudnicki from the Elite Cable Park, and that place has been packed.
Yep, if you want to, wakeboard, learn to wakeboard, that's the place to be.
Or even just plain water ski. I mean, it is, and it's safe, it's outdoors. I mean, it doesn't, and the food is fantastic.
Yeah, the food at Tantrum's right next to the two adjoining, businesses, just a super place to be. But we need to get underway with our first guest.
Absolutely. Drew, great to have you on board as usual. You're just always a wellspring of information, but one of the things that even with all this COVID craziness and what's going on, 2019, 2020 were just an unbelievably successful year for you guys. For that, as far as a highlight or the highlights, we can't pick just one. That puts you in a compromising position.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave it at what were some of the highlights to you? I mean, what really stood out in your mind in terms of successes for Florida Southern?
Well, Mark, Hank, thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me join you. 1920 obviously didn't end the way we wanted it to end, and that's a statement that can probably be said all across the country. But we had some great seasons in the meantime. Men's basketball obviously stood out, 29-2, top 5 in the country, a great team, a great season. We had a lot of fall sports that competed really well. But what stands out is when the year ended early, a lot of the athletic awards weren't given out, but the academic awards were still given out. So we had a long list of academic award winners for 1920. Really proud of our student athletes and how they stepped up. Even during all the craziness of COVID, they were able to continue to focus on their studies and really achieve at a high level in the classroom.
Yeah. Well, that's had to be a huge challenge to try to, embody all that and get students, doing classes online versus being in the classroom, and just kind of a different way of learning.
Yeah, it was certainly a challenge. They're used to having to balance their athletics and academics, their practice and play and missing class, traveling, doing all those things, and still having to do the academic side. All of a sudden, we put them in a completely different environment, took away, what some of their reprieve is focusing on athletics, and they're doing their academics online, but they still just did such a great job and achieved at a really high level.
Well, I think a lot of the, there's been a lot of discussion about, the online classes and all of this type of stuff. But I tell you, and as a adjunct, still adjunct at Florida Southern in sports marketing, Mark Zimmerman and I. And it doesn't change. You know, it's really what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Yep.
Some of the social interaction, sure. But the fact of the matter is, you know, I have a son that's finishing up at Polk State, and he's, man, Dad, I get more out of it when I do the online stuff. But I have to, you know, create in my own mind a plan to get the most out of it.
Yep.
And so I applaud Florida Southern for taking that stance, and I think knowing that many of the professors there and the administration and so on, students are going to get just as much out of that situation as learning remotely as they would in the classroom. Do you miss, you know, hanging out with the kids and doing it? Well, sure, we all do, but we all have to do our part. So anyway, we'll kill that one for right now. But golf, women's golf, you guys were like rocking it.
Yeah, we had a great season building for men's and women's golf. Both of them were really challenging to win tournaments. They were doing really well on an individual basis. Really would have been excited to see how their spring played out. But they're one of the few sports that really spans both semesters. So we got to see some home tournaments and some really good events out of our women's golf and men's golf programs.
Well, let's go to swimming, because I happen to have a friend that's on your swim team, the daughter of one of my best friends, Tiana Kosick. And I think she's the first two-sport scholarship recipient at Florida Southern. She skis on the ski team and she swims. So, and she's a very good
swimming
student.
either way.
Yeah, you're one way or the
Hopefully
other.
not a lot when she skis.
But she's an incredible student on top of it, and it's just how they can manage all this, take such discipline and you know, dedication to do two sports and still be a great student.
Yeah, our swim team was literally at the national championships, in the middle of championships, and they were pulled out of the pool and sent home during the COVID crisis. But both of those teams received the academic awards for the entire team, and then between the two we had 10 academic All-Americans on men's and women's swimming. So some really talented student athletes, ashamed to be pulled out in the middle of a championship, but great seasons for both programs.
Yeah, you know, and you see a lot of that type of activity that, you know, there's been a lot of discussion about, you know, what is the prevalence of COVID-19? And I've heard these discussions, you know, people going, oh, it's 20 to 60% of the population, you know, have been infected or are infected and all this type of stuff. But the actual number, you know, in these discussions that came out after you crunched the numbers, and I checked, 0.8% in Polk County. 0.8% of Polk County's population has either had COVID or has it now.
And some
Think
of
about that.
Some of it isn't that bad either, because I have a friend whose wife had it, and it's just like she couldn't taste or smell for a few days, and that was it. So
sometimes
not
that's a good thing,
yeah,
depending on where you're eating.
Having dinner at your house. Better bring a fire extinguisher along with it just to make sure. But I got a fun story to share about the athletics and the academics. Is that Florida Southern every year has a banquet for all the athletes, and the team with the greatest or the highest GPA gets to go first in the buffet line. And so the Florida Southern girls water skiers had the best GPA, so they got to go first. And my dear friend Curtis Raby, who is the coach at Florida Southern, who is also getting inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame this Saturday night, just loves that story because he got on the coattails. The girls went up there to get in the buffet, and Curtis is right up there with him, making sure he's getting.
He's the women's water ski coach first, right? Because he's going to get in that buffet line.
So it's just kind of a cute story.
Drew, you've had a really long history, you meaning Florida Southern, in baseball. I think it's JJ Necro. Obviously recognized, and comes from a very strong baseball background. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, JJ certainly has a really unique bloodline, and our head coach Lance Necro. You know, obviously they're related to Phil Necro, but just a big baseball family. They love it. JJ was a great student athlete for us this year. He was a COSIDA All-American and a great pitcher on our team. And he's just a great young man. We used him to speak with our trustees because of the type of young man he is.
Wow.
Just a great representative of Florida Southern, of our athletic department, his family, and obviously our baseball program.
Well, COSID is an acronym for the Coaches, Information, something Directors.
Sports Information Directors. Yep.
A society,
Yep.
alumni, whatever it
Yep.
is. But I mean, it's a very prestigious award, and not only on the field but off the field. Great bloodline, so that had to be sort of a feather in your hat as well. I mean, you're the man at Florida Southern.
Yep.
You are. But to have something like that, and, you go down this honor roll of successes in virtually every sport that you've got. And then, you and I were talking at the USA softball team training at Florida Southern, and I mean, what a facility! I hadn't seen it before then.
Yeah,
I mean, I drove by it.
Yeah, sure. We're really proud of our facilities, but Bellotto Field, where we were able to host USA softball, is just it's a beautiful on-campus facility for our softball program, and we're proud to host anything we can there to showcase it and showcase our campus. But you mentioned some of our student athletes in the spring. I think we had 215 spring athletes meet our Sunshine State Conference honor roll, and a lot of softball players on that list. Just a really special group of spring athletes, and that field is a great way to support them.
She's in our Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she should be in everybody's.
Yeah, well, she pretty much is.
Yep.
Yeah, she's very talented, and the stick and ball sports are, primarily people think, football, baseball, softball, and this type of stuff. We can't forget about lacrosse. You had some success there too.
We have a really, really special lacrosse program on the women's side. National champions a few years ago. Julia Couch was an academic All-American this year. And we're really pushing the level of lacrosse forward in the immediate area in Polk County with our men's and women's programs. They're doing a great job of helping plant some grassroots initiatives, but man, they're so competitive and they're so fun to watch. Both lacrosse programs, really, really entertaining, fun to watch. I would encourage anybody to come and watch some men's and women's lacrosse if you haven't seen it before. A lot of fun.
So what's happening now with your athletics, with this COVID thing coming into the fall and through the summer, and what are the plans to deal with this and your athletes?
Yeah, there's so many unknowns right now, as you're seeing across the country. The Ivy League's announcement this week, Big Ten. We're hearing more news coming from the ACC and SEC this week. But Division II, we've had a few conferences who have said we're not doing fall sports. Our conference isn't there yet, but we're certainly evaluating all of the options, and the focus really has to be to keep our student athletes safe and healthy. All of Florida Southern's focus right now is bringing students back and bringing them back safely so we can return to providing the highest quality education that we know how to, and that's really our focus. And there's just so many unknowns that we're holding on like everybody else.
It's amazing just how it's just thrown everything so off kilter that you're having to deal with, number one, an unknown, something that you haven't dealt with before, but then all the planning that you do regularly, and now all this planning and trying to cover all your bases, and what about this and what about that, and trying to come up with solutions for all that. It has to be a little bit exhausting.
Changes every week.
Yeah. Well, Drew, unfortunately, this segment has gone by like what seems like 30 seconds. But I mean, we could sit here all hour and talk about, number one, all the successes, the great job that you're doing. It's really seeing a difference, which is a compliment. But got to thank you for coming on board. Appreciate your time as always, and truly keep up the great work. And we just love watching you and the teams and all the individual athletes at Florida Southern. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me on Sports Central, and appreciate the support of Florida Southern.
You bet.
Thanks.
Well, everybody, a really cool place that I like to go to, and if you have a family looking for something to do, or maybe even a hot date with your wife or whatever, the Phosphate Museum in Mulberry. Well, really, Mark? Yeah, it's really cool. You need to check this place out. It's really part of Polk County's heritage, part of our history, but more importantly, it's a great time. Check this out. Hank and Mark, we'll be back with segment number 2 right after this.
Do you have a miniature Indiana Jones in your family? If so, journey through the past when you visit the Mulberry Phosphate Museum.
We've been around since 1986. We took some of the fossils from an exposition in Bartow and then some private fossil collections and combined them in '86, which was in the Historic Depot. And then later we added the Phosphate Gallery and the History Gallery, which are from restored mining train cars that we added together. The first one where we like to start is the Phosphate Gallery, which is what we're in now, and that tells the story from fossils to food, sort of what phosphate is, which is a pretty big question when people come in. The next one is our History Gallery, which tells about the local history of the mining company towns and the mining companies and how it impacted the area. And then of course we have our Fossil Gallery, which is housed in the Historic Depot, and that has the fossils that were found through phosphate mining and a couple of private donations. We also have our caboose that you can walk through that's been restored, which helps tell the story of train history, which is a big part of our story. For the past 3 years, we've incorporated programming because that is a big part of what we're about. We want to not only tell the phosphate story, but inspire future generations to go into science and engineering and help the phosphate industry as well as other fields. So we have STEAM Saturday once a month, which is hands-on activities to talk about science, technology, engineering, art, and math. We also have Wild Wednesday, which focuses on animal science because that's a big part of what we do too. We have Behind the Glass, which is where after a tour you can get hands-on time with some of our fossils, maybe inspire some future paleontologists and also to see what museums do. And then you can always dig on our dig pile and take home anything you find.
I love the fact that there's a dinosaur dig. I think that anybody who figured out that there's a dinosaur dig, they're gonna be like, I'm digging.
There's only one other phosphate museum in the United States, and it's in Tennessee, so be sure to visit this very unique attraction during your next Central Florida vacation.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Segment number 2 of Sports Central with Mr. Hank Longo.
And Mr. Mark Jackson.
It's great to be here, everybody. And yeah, we do have a lot of things to talk about relative to sports. Certainly grateful for what we do have going on right now. And, you know, one of my favorite places to eat, Hank, is
our sponsor for the second segment, Harborside.
Well, we're going to be talking a little food too here in just a second.
Just
but
a minute, we got that great smell of food from Tantrums.
Oh my gosh! Well, you know, I had some great food. I was up in Wisconsin last week, and you know, checking on my 87-year-old mother, and she's still working outside in the yard and doing all the rest of that stuff.
Amazing. That's amazing.
And all of that, and my very good friend Karen Amundsen from Eau Claire, and just had a wonderful time just being a tourist.
How was the weather?
It was just like Florida. It was hot. You know, had to cut trees down and fix stuff, and it's like, ay, slave driver she is. You know, man.
You gotta get it while you can. But hey, our next guest.
Our next guest, and I can speak from experience because I was there yesterday for lunch at Tantrums, the grill, but our superstar of the second segment is Kellan Rudnicki from Elite Cable Park in Auburndale, right there at the south end of the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. And Kellan, man, that place was like a beehive. It was unbelievable.
Oh, it certainly has been quite the place to be here in Auburndale, and we are very excited that we've been able to have so many people out there learning water sports for the first time. And I will say I am here to cement my status as the favorite guest because I have been bringing some more food from Tantrums Lakeside Grill. I don't know if you've been there recently, but Duncan, Marianne, and Jonathan have been doing fantastic jobs in expanding their menu from fantastic to even better. We have a pork belly pineapple bowl. We have their new fish sandwich as well.
That's what I had yesterday with hush puppies.
Yeah, right there we got the hush puppies and the signature shrimp and grits.
Oh, man.
So, you know, we're here to talk about our anniversary event, but anytime you ever get hungry, I highly recommend going to Tantrum's Lakeside Grill because it is fantastic.
Well, you can actually go out there. You can, if you don't want to ski, you know, or wakeboard or kneeboard or whatever you want to do, you can have a drink. There's assorted beverages out there, whether you're an adult or a child, and you know, the food is unbelievable. Food's outstanding. I couldn't believe it.
I've been out there quite a bit, and a lot of people just come out there to eat. I mean, and I get talking to them, you know, where are you from?
Jack Myers is one of the big patrons out there.
But you know, people have come from, you know, Tampa, Orlando, and they've just heard about it and are coming to eat. And a lot of folks just enjoy coming there for the restaurant and have nothing to do with, you know, the wakeboarding. But it's amazing that it's being recognized as a fun place to go.
Exactly. I mean, really, we kind of consider it as one of the best views to, you know, have a nice dinner, have a nice lunch, and watch. You know, we have professional level athletes there on a daily basis putting flips and tricks. So it's really an amazing package for your entire family. The kids can go ride. You can go sit down, have a nice, lovely day on the lake, and again, enjoy this amazing food. So we're really happy to be able to provide this to, you know, Auburndale and the community because it has just been such a great experience for us and being able to provide the joy of water sports and eat some amazing food.
Well, July 18th is your first year anniversary, and it's been a rough year. You know, we've got the COVID thing, you know, and uncertainty here, uncertainty there, and all this type of stuff. But you guys are rocking it. I mean, it's just, I was shocked. Hank was telling me, you know, he said, Mark, you got to see this. And, you know, between traveling and being just swamped at work, you know, with work stuff, I witnessed it firsthand, and what a fun place. These kids are laughing, they're having a good time. You even have a camp out there.
That is correct. So unfortunately, our camp was completely booked up within 2 weeks. We have over 100 campers that are going to be enjoying water sports with us over the course of, you know, the next few weeks. However, if you're still interested, please be sure to go ahead and just get a lesson with us at any point in time. We still have availability for that. But, you know, it's really amazing what we're able to offer, especially with all the uncertainty and everything going on. We provide a fun, safe environment that's outdoors. It allows us for proper social distancing, and it really does provide those kids who have been stuck inside, on the computer, on everything, an opportunity to get outside and experience the love of water sports. And my favorite thing that I've seen about our summer campers is about 70 to 80% of them are completely new. They've never been to ECP before. They've never even had water sports experience before, and it's something where, you know, I always say the hardest part with water sports is getting up. The flips and everything else is easy, so it's really great to see. I think we're going to have a whole new generation of water sports in the Auburndale community, and, you know, with everything in the historic, you know, elements to it, it's just great to be part of it.
Well, you get these kids that have never been involved before, and you say 70, 80% of them are new. Well, there's, you know, all those kids that are going to tell their friends about it, and, you know, that networking is going to really pay off, I think, in the future as well with, hey, you got to come out here and try it. We're having a blast.
Kellan, what are your hours of operation? Because I know a lot of people have to work during the day, or they have other obligations or whatever. Can you come out like after work? Are you still open then, or?
So that is my go-to workout. It really is something where we're open from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. every single day. So we do provide the opportunity then for, you know, after your shift or anything like that, it's after 5, you can come on out and get on the water. I know me personally, an hour is pretty much all I got. I know some of the kids out there, they'll ride all day, but I'm a little bit winded, and, you know, I can hear tantrums calling my name pretty quickly after a few laps. But we are open 7 days a week now. We offer membership plans, which make it really affordable for you to have unlimited riding. Again, if you're completely new and you've never tried it before, if you're experienced, or if you just want to get back out on the water, we really do offer a wide variety of items for everyone to enjoy and have a great day with us.
Well, you have that guaranteed program.
the get up guarantee. So that is our signature program. As I mentioned, really we find the hardest part of water sports is getting up. So what happens is for this program of just $60, you have a one-on-one private lesson for 15 minutes that really focuses on just getting onto the water. Then you get a 4-hour cable pass for our main cable, and you get all of the equipment included. So we highly recommend it. It's by far the best way to learn, and we're very excited. Our coaches love getting new people out there because it just really allows us to showcase what we do best, which is teaching.
Yeah. Well, Steve Barnes, who is one of our producers back here for the show, got a boat and was asking me about wakeboarding. And, what do you think? When you add up all the equipment, it's probably like $500 just to get going. I says, hey, you need to just go to the cable park and learn how to do it there and see if you like it before you go through the expense, and they'll teach you. They've got all the equipment, and just a perfect example of someone that wants to wakeboard. And do I make the investment? Well, go try it, and then you'll know exactly what you need to do. And then, do you sell equipment there as well as rent it?
So I'm really glad you brought that up, Hank, because it's something we see as well where, do I want to commit? Do I want to put my kid in this? Are they just going to pick it up and not do it? What I really find, is a great thing for us, especially with our summer camp program, is, after 5 days or after 2-3 times out there, you'll really know if you enjoy water sports and if you're passionate about it. And as I'm sure something that both you and Mark know, it's something you bring with you for the rest of your life. Yeah. Football, baseball, those were all great sports for me growing up. Last game of baseball was high school. Last game of football was probably should have been high school as well. But it's something where you can continue to keep doing these and get on the water. So we do have a full shop as well that we can provide you all the equipment, hyperlight gear, so it's top of the line, and really you just got to show up with your bathing suit, a towel, and a good attitude. We'll take care of the rest.
Ready to go. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, you're out in the sun too, and you get a little vitamin D, you get some exercise, and mom, dad, brother, sisters, whatever, they can sit and watch and enjoy it, have a nice beverage, something to eat. It's just a great environment for bringing kids out and just having, or adults too. I mean, there's a lot of adults. I was talking to a friend of mine. It was early last week, and went out, kids, and he's wakeboards too. They just had a ball. He said, I can't say enough good things about it. I said, well, you need to tell your friends because it is one heck of a good time.
As many people out there as we can. So tell us about the big 1-year anniversary. What are you going on there?
Yeah, so we're really excited for this 1-year anniversary party. I mean, it's something where we really want to kind of almost give back to the community that's accepted us, embraced us so well. And we're going to go ahead and offer a few amazing things. So again, we're partnering with Tantrums on this. They're going to have live music there throughout the day. So you'll be able to enjoy an amazing meal on the dock, listening to live music. We're going to also have inflatables for the little ones so they can go ahead and go down a giant slide, a bounce house to really kind of, occupy their time as well too. We're also offering an exclusive package for $50 that's going to be an all-day pass, all of your equipment, an event t-shirt, and a meal ticket for Tantrums as well.
Oh my gosh.
So your whole day is complete. We are recommending that people book it online. We have limited the capacity of this offer to 50 people, so we're not quite sure how quickly that is going to last. But again, for just $50, you are completely covered. If you want to come by just for the music and the food, that is fine as well. We really just want to have a good time out on the water, hopefully kind of put some of all the craziness of this year, kind of behind us, and just enjoy being out there in the summer and on the water.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have known yesterday that there's anything going on. I mean, people are a little further apart and they kind of sit in their little groups. And the place is big and it's all covered, so you can sit down and do all that type of stuff. It was just good to see people smiling, laughing, kids running around, having a good time.
You're outside having fun. That's
absolutely
a big thing.
Well, and it's water skiing, water sports, towed water sports. That is, you want to put it, in technical terms, is a sport. It's a lifelong sport. You can start at 2 or 3, ski to your 102 or 103, and we've had competitive skiers. I mean, both you guys know, both
in your 80s,
competitive skiers, 80s and 90s. Banana George. He was in his 90s.
He was in his 90s.
Yeah. So, it's one of those lifelong sports, but it's a family sport. It is America's family sport because when you're being towed behind a boat, takes a driver, takes an observer, and then the skier. Well, that's a family, okay, minimum number, but it truly is a family. And great stuff. That's the way you started. That's the way I started. Kellan, you started up in Minnesota. Another Midwestern boy.
Yep. So I mean, it's really something where exactly what you mentioned. We find that family fun on the water is our motto, and what I love more than ever is I can't tell you how many families we have that the mom skis, the dad skis, the brother, the sister, they all ski and they all come together. So we really pride ourselves in being able to make those family moments that really last a lifetime. And it's something where, we're very proud to be able to offer that. And I can't tell you how excited I was when I got a message from some parents that did their summer camp program. They told us how awesome it was. And then they mentioned, well, I even tried it myself and I got up there. And now,
really?
I'm kind of curious, what does a pass look like? So it's something where it's a very easy and forgiving sport. You just got to go ahead, try it, get out there, and I find that we really offer that nice, easy entrance into it. And before you know it, you're hooked for the lifetime, and you just got a whole bunch of fantastic memories that come from it.
Yeah, and it's Hank, it's one of those sports too that you can go at your own pace. If you really want to just rock it, and go from beginner to competitive, you can do that. If you just want to, it's like golf. Some people just want to play golf recreationally. If you hit a bad shot, throw another ball down, hit another shot. You go at your own pace. It's a great individual sport, but it's a great group sport if you want to make it that way.
Well, the beauty of it is you can just go there, do it, have fun, and leave. You don't need a driver, you don't need a boat, and all of that expense. You just have to go, show up, do your thing, and be done, and it couldn't be any more convenient, and it just makes it easy. Well, we're getting to the end of this segment, and all that food's just going, hey, over here, try me.
Well, we have our director getting ready to get the hook out for us, but just like Drew, Kellan, we can go on for an hour about this type of stuff. Great interview, and we're definitely going to have you back because, man, that food looks good over there. It's making me hungry right now, but thank you for bringing that.
I was about to say, you could be real with me. Anytime you want us to bring some food, you just let me know.
Okay.
But always a pleasure, Hank. Always a pleasure,
Thanks,
Mark. Looking
Kellan.
forward to seeing you out there on the anniversary, and looking forward to teaching a lot more people.
Well, you tell Drew and Duncan, and Marianne, we appreciate their hospitality.
Yeah.
Will do.
Great stuff. Well, everybody, that is fun. It's a gas out there. Anyway, speaking of a gas, Winter Haven Water Sports. If you'd like to get out on the water and canoe, kayak, pontoon boat, 18 lakes in Winter Haven, the chain of lakes, probably the most famous chain of lakes in all of Florida, we've got something for you. Check this out. We'll be back with Ryan Ritchie in segment number 3. Stick around. We'll be back.
Central Florida's Polk County is home to more than 550 lakes, and today we're with Winter Haven Water Sports, where you and your family can flyboard, paddleboard, water ski, and more.
So Winter Haven Water Sports offers anything you want to do in the water. Tubing, water skiing, flyboarding, paddleboarding, anything you want to do, even rent the pontoon boat if you don't want to get actually in the water. So we have it all here.
We began as World Barefoot Center. We're a barefoot water skiing school, and we've been running here for about 6 years now. And lately we noticed there's just a gap in the market for water sports for family activities. Everything from paddleboarding, flyboarding, pontoon rentals, water skiing lessons, tubing. So there's a whole new field of like water sports out there that no one's offering right now, and we wanted to jump in and make sure people visiting could get on the water and just spend some time out there as a family.
So if you're staying at Legoland and you like the water ski show, now it's your turn to get out in the water.
It's totally up to them. We run separate packages. They could experience like half a day. They could go out in the boat for a couple hours with the family. They could go out on the skis. Mum could wakeboard. The kids could ride the tube. They could come back, take a break for lunch, and then go out and do some flyboarding in the afternoon. A lot of the time, you know, some of the kids and dad will go out skiing, and mum can go ride a paddleboard around the lake for a little bit, or they can just jump on the pontoon boat and experience the chain of lakes, just cruise the chain and enjoy the day.
So if you're looking for a reason to stay an extra day in Central Florida, book a day on the water with Winter Haven Water Sports.
Life on the water, everybody. Welcome to segment number 3. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo. And, you know, you think about it, Polk County, what a great place to raise a family, to, you know, whether you're young or whether you're a little older, just a great place to live. All these water sports, are surrounded by lakes, and
it's just
perfect time of
If
the
there's
year.
anything that we would need right now, it's something that we can do outside and have some fun, and all these water sports makes it possible. But we want to thank right now the folks at the Hilton Garden Inn in Lakeland for being the sponsor of our third segment here on Sports Central. Thanks so much to those folks.
Yeah, it's, you know, that area of Lakeland is a hopping place. You know, it's good to see people out and enjoying themselves and all that good type of stuff. Well, speaking of more water sports, we have to thank our director here, Mackenzie Richardson, for putting all this together, because, you know, she's pretty smart. You know, it's 90-some degrees every single day. Water sports is the route to go.
Definitely is. And we've got water sports in Haines City, and if you want to introduce our next guest.
I sure would. Well, this is a guy that should be no stranger to this. You folks that have watched this show for the last 10, 15 years, I guess. Mr. Ryan Ritchie, actually one of the hosts of this show, as well as our sister show, Sports Central, on WLKF. Hall Communications. It's good to see you again, and you've had a lot of fun times on the on the show, and you've done a number of shows up there at particularly in Eaglebrook, Mr. Ritchie.
Yes. I sure have.
That I distinctly remember. I know one of our producers, Brian Lacey, remembers.
He sure does.
Some. As you were getting your feet wet and something else too, I guess.
That's right. That's right. We were. No, we had some great memories, obviously, with PGTV and Polk County Sports Marketing Visit Central Florida. I'll preface by saying that, in all seriousness, the City of Haines City appreciates the partnership that we have with Visit Central Florida and Polk County Sports Marketing. You know, ever since the day that we shut down due to this COVID. Mark, your staff has been in communication with us to make sure that our city is geared up for handling this situation, And I just want to say kudos to you and your staff and your leadership for making sure that they take care of. It's not only the City of Haines City, but I know that you guys have reached out to the other municipalities within the county, and we appreciate the partnership that we have with you guys.
Well, part of that great partnership revolves around water. And, you know, of course, the Ironman, you don't get is a model partnership. And when the big Ironman was, Bull Ironman up in Panama City was interrupted a couple of years ago, there was only one place that they thought could pull off moving an Ironman in 2.5 weeks. It's never been done before. So they called us up from Hawaii. They were in Hawaii, and they said, there's only one place that can pull this off. Would you guys be interested? And we said, we'll do it. And if it wasn't for the partnership and the teamwork between Polk County Sports Marketing and Ryan and the city and Haines City, there's no place else in the country that could have done it. That's what they said. And so pulled it off. But part of that event, of course, is swimming. But swimming also at Lake Eva Park. That has become a hub, you know, for swimming, aquatics, water sports, and so on. Tell us about the Aquatic Center and what's going on there, because I know there's a ton of people that are having a ton of fun out there right now.
Yeah. So I appreciate you mentioning that. The Lake Eva Aquatic Center opened up June 1st, and you know, we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure. I think the ultimate goal is to make sure that our community is safe, all right, and that the visitors that attend our facilities are safe and healthy, right? When you have things like COVID and a pandemic that's going on globally, you have to make adjustments. Mm-hmm. And our goal was to make sure that we didn't shut anything down. We didn't shut down our parks. We did a lot of research on sanitizing the playgrounds, and again, it's a team effort, and I have to hand it to our staff for making those adjustments and making that happen. But the Lake Eva Aquatic Center is open. It opened on June 1st. We are doing 2 separate sessions, 2.5-hour sessions, so 11:30 to 1 o'clock, and then we'll go in, sanitize it. The lifeguards are wearing masks. We sanitize the whole facility, and then at 3 o'clock we open it back up, and then it goes until 5:30. So the unfortunate thing is that we had to cancel swim lessons. We had to cancel some of the aerobics classes that we have with our seniors. But the Haines City Tritons, which is a swim team, and I know you guys are very familiar with them, they're still operating as well. So we're excited to have some of the youth and adults coming in with the Haines City Tritons. So we're doing everything that we possibly can. We're building a brand new pool in the north side of the community as well. That should be done in September.
That's in the Oakland area, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So we're excited about that. It's going to be a brand new facility that's going to come online at the end of the year, and we couldn't be any more excited for that facility. So
and what will be included in that facility, Ryan?
That's a great question. It's a zero entry pool.
Which is what? Define that. What is zero entry?
Zero entry is just basically just kind of a level as you walk in, and it gets deeper and deeper. So it's
like a ramp.
People with, and it's great for kids. It's great for older adults, but it's fantastic for people with some form of disability. Mm-hmm. You can literally roll wheelchairs right into it under control. It is a fantastic invention. Whoever came up with that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it is, right, Ryan? I mean,
it's exactly what it is.
It's very accommodating for everybody.
Absolutely. So we're excited about that facility. It's there's going to be some features involved in the entry of that pool, whether it's splashing things and so on and so forth. But yeah, we're excited. September it'll be here. Nice little grand opening. Maybe we can get you guys out there to splash around in the new pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't even go. I know he's coming. It just wouldn't be Sports Central without him coming up with something. Hanky going there with his little ducky inner tube or something like that.
We'll get a little
my little flappers,
a beverage with an umbrella. Yeah, too.
I like that. I like that.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just can't say what goes through my brain.
Gotta have fun.
Yeah, sometimes
absolutely.
we're glad we don't know what's going through that brain.
Well,
but-
I'm gonna do like my mom used to do. The dinner table, change the subject. Ryan, talk a little bit talk about it in the summer camps. You're one of the few that have actually continued to move forward.
Yeah, and I'm proud that our staff and our community have been able to continue to offer a summer camp. As you know, a lot of parents went through a tough time when schools decided to close, and parents had to make a major adjustment at home, right? How do we work and how do we get our kids through school? And I think from what I know, I think a lot of families did a phenomenal job in making sure that happened. But yeah, we're offering a summer camp that started on June 22nd. It's going to go until the end of July 31st. We had to shorten it a little bit. Normally it is a little bit longer, but yeah, our staff has done a phenomenal job in making adjustments, creating these fun little programs that you can do and comply with the CDC guidelines, whether it be social distancing or just making sure that the ratio between our counselors and students was a fair enough amount so that everybody had equal time with each other. So. Yeah, Mark, you said it. We're one of the few. I know Winter Haven had a few challenges, but they've opened back up and they've brought their programs back. So, but yeah, we're excited that's happened. I'm proud because I know families were looking for something. It's been a long spring, if you will, and hopefully with schools opening back up this year, it'll be really good for us.
Well, I think that's a testament to the practical approach that life must go on in Haines City, and there's arguments, on both sides. Oh, we need to shut everything down, and this, that, and the other. Well, if you start taking a look at the statistics, that doesn't hold water. No pun intended. It doesn't. I mentioned earlier.
It's like when the percentage is
The percentage, in Polk County right now is 0.8% of the population have had COVID, or have it now, and that's one argument that people have been stating, and this type of stuff. And the other, of course, the other side is, well, we got to keep everybody safe. Noble cause, couldn't agree more. But there's a balance. There's a balance in life. We all take risks. Take risks when you go out and play football. You take risks when you go ski jumping. You take risks when you're a state champion bowler, and sometimes lifelong injuries can result from participating in these sports, but people take risks. If you don't want to take the risks, then don't participate. Don't show up, avoid certain situations. We all understand that. So I think everyone acknowledges and applauds the effort, the practical effort that Haines City has taken, that life must go on, but there's nothing worse than a family, almost nothing worse than a family member or the breadwinner in a family not having a job and not being able to put bread on the table. You tell me you'd rather eat or you'd rather take a risk.
You're absolutely right.
Eat.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that, I will say again, just like our aquatic center, we, our counselors are wearing masks. The kids within the program have to wear masks at certain times. The tables and the setup, obviously with a large community center, our community centers are shut down right now. They won't open until the end of August. So it allowed us some more room to have our program. So, we are making it's not like we're just have kids playing around and there's 25 kids together. We still have to comply with what the CDC is recommending, but it's when you're in our shoes, it's tough to make those decisions. Mark,
yes, it is.
You know that.
It definitely is.
And so it was just something that we felt was the best for our community to be able to provide a quality and safe program for the community, and we're making it happen. And we'll cross our fingers and pray that we can get through this summer and hope that everyone stays safe and healthy.
You do the best you can, but understanding that life does have risks, and whatever risks people are comfortable taking, then God willing, they're going to be safe doing that. So, You know, it's always a choice.
Sure.
We have choices to make, and that's the choice that Haines City make, and that's great. And other places made their choices, and that's great too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all live by different things. But you know, Ryan, as a parent, you know, I'm sure you haven't sequestered Juliana, you know, and she's a cute little kid, and you know, the dearest thing in your heart. What do you know, as a parent and as assistant director of Parks and Recreation for Haines City, has she been out participating a little bit this summer?
She has a little bit. We visit the playgrounds every once in a while, and so again, as a parent, you just want to make sure that, you know, for me personally, you know, I want my kid to be able to go out and still enjoy what they should enjoy, whether it be to go to a playground or whether it go to an open field or just go for a walk and have a nice conversation with each other. So yeah, again, you think about making sure that they stay safe and they're healthy, but then you also don't want to shelter them and sit inside all day. Exactly. So they're kids. It's tough to try to contain a 7-year-old little girl. It's challenging, but we're getting by.
Well, I tell you, we appreciate your time, and I know we could. There's a lot of things we can talk about, but we do need to bring you back before Ironman comes, because I know you guys are prepping for that already. The whole county's prepping for that, and we're excited about that. We're excited to have you back on board, and probably the next time I see you will be at one of our favorite restaurants, Gary's Oyster Bar in beautiful Lake Alfred.
You got that right.
Just south of Haines City, and we'll see you soon, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you December 13th for Ironman 70.3 out in Haines City. Looking forward to it.
Great. Ryan Ritchie, thank you so much.
You.
Well, everybody, more exciting stuff, and you know, sometimes you have to have a balance in all aspects of life, including sports and arts and culture, heritage, and so on. One of the things that you know, we talked about a little bit earlier, we saw a great video, a great profile by Jessica Roberts on the Phosphate Museum. That was fun. But we also have some special footage. Or excuse me, Jessica was doing the both the Phosphate and the Chain of Lakes water sports deal. Anyway, we have another video coming up that's really exciting, and it is the Polk County History Museum, which is right downtown Bartow. It dates back to pre-Columbian all the way up to fairly recently. Some great exhibits.
Marvelous job.
A marvelous job over there. Murtis Young does a great job. Make sure you check that out as well. We've got some great footage from that. Hank and Mark will be back with segment number 4 right after this.
Central Florida's Polk County is known for family fun, fantastic weather, and unique attractions. And today we're going to visit one of those unique places, the Polk County History Center in Bartow. Let's check it out. Bartow is the capital city of Polk County, and the History Center lives in the county's original courthouse, built in 1908. The development and success of Polk County, named for the 11th president, James K. Polk, is connected to the industries that thrive here: agriculture, beekeeping, turpentine, the railroad, phosphate, cattle ranching, citrus, tourism, and commerce. The first Red Lobster opened in Lakeland in the late 1960s, and the first public supermarket opened in Winter Haven in 1940. Did you know Florida's first theme park was built in Polk County? In 1930, Cypress Gardens opened in Winter Haven and showcased the natural beauty of Central Florida along the shores of Lake Eloise. The attraction included Southern Bells and water ski shows. And today you can stroll through those same gardens when you visit Legoland Florida Resort in Winter Haven. The History Center also features treasures from Bok Tower Gardens and Chalet Suzanne. Kids will enjoy the Children's Discovery Room and Florida's Natural World. They can live like a pioneer and churn butter in the replica Cracker House, or imagine life as a Seminole Indian in the replica Chickee House. Next, kids can marvel at fossils that have been found hidden deep in the ground across Polk County, and then identify animals found in the Green Swamp. The second floor of the Polk County History Center showcases our military history and the native people who first inhabited Florida. 2 restored courtrooms from 1908 and 1926 are used for special events, like monthly lunch and learns and weddings. The History Center's more eclectic exhibits feature Florida's early highways and the people who traveled them, unique and vintage fashion, and accessories worn by women in the early 1900s, and handmade fishing lures used to reel in bass. As you can see, the exhibits at the Polk County History Center are engaging and fun for the entire family, and admission is free. I had a great time visiting today, and you will too.
Everybody, welcome back. Segment number 4 of Sports Central. Wow.
Now this show is just
that was a barn burner of a show, and some
flying by here.
Yeah, some great guests.
So we're going to thank the folks at Peoples for sponsoring this 4th segment of Sports Central, and great partners to have on board, and right down the street from our Polk County Tourism Sports Marketing headquarters. So it gets frequented quite often by the staff.
Peebles Barbecue in Auburndale on Old Dixie Highway. One of my favorites, and Dale and his family have been running that for, I don't know, it's like half a century.
Wow.
It's just a great place to eat. The food is outstanding. The environment is terrific, and it's just down the street from the Elite Cable Park that we were just interviewing Kellan Rudnicki. So that's probably half a mile from there. You can make a whole day out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, Peebles is closed right now, though. They close in the summertime.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so we have to
got
remind folks.
kind of a sweet schedule. They're open like with Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And then closed during the summer. And
Yeah, my favorite over there is Erica. She's, you know, always
Big
there
care of
greeting
you.
people, and Dale's always there greeting people. And, it's great to see them, always. Well, a lot of changes, folks. Pardon me. Little frog in my throat. Of course, we've been talking water sports. Maybe one jumped in there. I don't know. Never know with me. But the fact of the matter is, in the world of prep sports, Florida High School Activities Association, Athletic Association, really had some tough decisions to make, and some of them are still ongoing. And Hank, it's confusing, to say the least. To really sum it up, what they've done is they have divided all the high schools, into 4 categories. But those categories are based on different start dates, And what that means is that the first division, Division 1, will start practice July 27th, and they will start games. Let me check. I got to see this if I'm right here. 27th, and then start competition on the 17th. That is a staggered start and practice schedule. Division 2, Division 3, and then Division 4 wraps it up with practice starting September 7th with contests beginning September 28th. How are you going to handle that? Because you have small schools, you have large schools. Within each division, they are going to have they will segment the schools based on the size.
Oh my God.
So it's a nightmare for the Florida High School Activities, I keep saying activities, Athletic Association. And if the school doesn't feel comfortable starting in July 27th, they can go into a different division, but knowing that the size of their school dictates the size of the schools they will be playing.
Oh man.
So it's a complicated mess at best, but Hank, we've got some sponsors we need to thank you.
We need to thank these folks as soon as I get to my sponsor page here, and we'll be right there as I finally found it here. A big thank you to the folks at Holiday Inn Winter Haven, the Lakeland Magic, Party Rentals Unlimited, Hollywood Signs, and Days in Lakeland. Thank you so much for your support.
Well, don't forget about our sister show, everybody, 14:30 a.m. every Thursday at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6, one of the hottest shows in all of Central Florida, the I-4 corridor, during that time slot, but also 96.7 FM. Sports Central, check it out, Hall Communications. Our next live show is going to be July 22nd. July 22nd. It's hard to believe.
I know.
I mean, Christmas is like right around the corner. How are we going to handle all of that, let alone all the college football and all of that type of stuff? And are you looking forward to football?
Yeah, I kind of don't know when it's going to start or what they're going to do.
I don't either.
But it's,
well, sort of do.
but
The NFL, only 2 preseason games. They cut out the first and the last one. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Hank and Mark, we'll be back, and we'll see you next time.